sappy ass video do you think this is? Roll the intro. I said roll the
Well, there she goes. Pretty well messed up, I gotta say. Ripped everything out of the bumper and messed up the bumper there. Destroyed my splitter. It's completely done for. All just because there's a piece of rebar over there on the ground. So not only that, my quarter panel being pretty well messed up and scratched up as well from a branch hitting it about 2 weeks prior to this. Needless to say, I'm getting pretty irritated about how much crap keeps messing the car up recently. You know, it hasn't been breaking, so everything's just been slowly destroying it, which is even worse, honestly. What we have here, James is working on my car again. Get that thing off of there, son. Some cast iron wheels, man. Dang, and we got Matt working on the car over here. What is going on?
Everybody but you working on
I know, everybody.
Relax, bro.
What? You got James, he's taking off the caliper. Take that thing off of there. Dude, these things look crusty as hell. What'd you do to my calipers? You know what? I got the rebuild kit for those calipers. Full rebuild kit for the calipers. Look at that. They're gonna be good as new. What do you think?
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. You got that thing off of there. What are we thinking? These terrible pads. But you know what? They're still in good shape. So we'll reuse them for now. We'll get some track pads eventually for the back. But we're gonna take this freaking crusty ass rotor out. We're gonna throw in some of these new GT500 rear rotors. Look at that. Shoo. Look at the size difference. Oh my gosh, it's almost an inch bigger all the way around. That is crazy. That is going to be so much more heat resistance. Look at that. It looks crazy in there. Are you recording?
I think so.
Okay. We got the extension brackets here, and we're gonna put these on to extend the caliper out so the GT500 rear rotor works. I don't know if these actually are correct because I got them off Amazon and I've never seen anyone buy them off Amazon. So, I mean, we're definitely gonna find out. So they just bolt on the back and they literally just extend the caliper out just a little bit, and then that's it. That's all there is to it. It's just as simple as that. He's doing the dirty work again. What the heck? He's really doing the hard stuff. No, I'm just kidding. James pulled this whole side off. Dang, bro, did you rip out my dang? I ain't got no bump stop anymore. You did that.
No, I didn't even notice. Yeah, that's just been going.
Got the caliper pulled apart here. This is the bracket to the driver's side. I already got that wire brushed and cleaned up. We're gonna throw some of that rebuild kit on it. Got the other one there. I'm gonna have to clean it up too. Paint it as well. But for now, I'm gonna paint this one to see what it looks like. Oh, look at that. Brand new. There's a little side-by-side comparison. Fully rebuilt. Look at that. Brand spanking new. I got James over there. He's sanding the caliper, getting ready to paint those. I'm going to mask it off so I don't get paint all over the car. It's going to be fantastic. Those are going to be fully rebuilt then. Have my trash bag laid out in the fender well. Went ahead and painted this. There's a weird splotch going on right there. I'm not sure what that's about, but it's painted. Looking good. And then, so out on Road Atlanta, since these hubs move a little bit when they're under force and they actually leak because of that, they move so much that they leak. It actually leaked out a bunch and turned into grease, so I just went ahead and cleaned that off, and now we're good to go. Our brackets installed. We got to put the caliper on, but first we need to put lunch installed in the belly. Yep. Lunch installed in the belly. Put that Wendy's in here. Wendy's nuts gonna hit your face. So we're gonna put this on, but you know what? To do that, we actually have to do it. Go grab the rotor. You're not doing anything. Look at that. Look at that cheeks ass crap. Boom!
I'm full.
Full of crap. Got it! There we have it. We're all finished up on this side. We haven't even painted the other side, so James is working on that. But tell you what, them old brakes up there, new brakes are almost the same diameter, almost. Either way, they look really good, so I'm pretty happy with that. Well, if it wasn't obvious, it's pretty freaking dark outside right now, and it's like barely past 5 o'clock. I hate this time of year, I tell you what. But I got this all taped up pretty much for the most part. I think I gotta tape a couple more spots and throw the trash bag in here so I don't get paint all over everything. And then we're finally ready to paint, and then we'll put the rest of this mumbo jumbo on, hit it with the heat gun to cure it a little bit first, and maybe the brake dust doesn't destroy the paint before it can cure. I'm gonna get going on this. I'm probably not gonna film the rest of it until it's done, just to save time, and it's kind of pointless because you saw the other side. Shoot, little short intermission. We got a freaking RTR sway bar to put on the back of James's rig, you know what I'm saying? Look at this.
Race thing.
I already measured it with the calipers. We got 21.7 the stock one and 25.6 for the RTR, and is adjustable, which also makes a big difference. Comes with all new hardware, directions, even though he can't read.
Don't know what it says.
Yeah, I mean, this job has taken 2 seconds so far, and you know what? We're gonna have it in. It's gonna be an F1 car, and we're gonna go rip it, and we're gonna see that it makes the biggest difference in the world, and it's not even the same car anymore.
We're gonna put it on the firmest setting. I think that's what that says, right? Firmest setting.
No, that says soffits, like on a house, like soffits, like under the gutters. Get it, get it. Oh, that's not even tight.
Dude, it'd be horrible if I farted under here.
Dude, you telling me? Look at where I'm at right now. Come on, get that thing in there.
Oh no, left from right.
Get that thing in there.
Wait, we didn't reuse Loctite.
It's fine.
Oh, okay. Fine. I should call her. God, it's hard working on cars.
It's 4 bolts. What are you talking about?
What's the torque spec on this bitch?
Tight. You got just when I went over to your, like when your mom like
Spit it out.
your mom's house, like, anyways, thing torqued down. Okay. Shoo! Just like that, RTR up in this thing. Look at all that freshness right there. Shoo! What do we think? Full-blown race car now, or what?
Full-blown race car.
Full-blown race car. We're gonna lower it down and clean up. I'm gonna take this thing out and rip it. What do you say?
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah, brother.
Put it in the mid setting.
Mid?
Yeah.
I mean, this car is pretty mid. Look at it. So much torque, my butt cheeks twisted off the line.
Damn right.
Holla at me, bruh. You don't even know what's up, dog. What up?
He's a line snatcher 3K. Line snatcher. All the torque, he twists off the line.
Yo, what the crap? Get out of here, man. What are you doing?
Jimmy.
We in this thing. What the? Look at that 370Z. 370Z, I'm retarded. It's a 350Z. Dang, son. Oh, yeah. Careful. Careful's what's up. Dang. Oh, shoot.
Hey, what?
He's standing on it. That thing's smoking like a freight train, bro. Whoa! Oh. He's going. He's going. Damn. What was that? Shit. Dang. Dang, son. Straight oversteer. That's what we were looking You probably could. It's an RTR sway bar. You could probably drift it.
That's what it's for.
No, we ain't doing that. Okay. That's what it did right there. Turn you into FD, Formula Drift. Damn, son. That seems like oversteer to me.
It does seem like oversteer.
I like that. I like that.
Better than understeer.
No, it is not understeer. Oversteer safer than understeer. They're both dangerous. You just got to know what you're doing and not be driving a Mustang. Good thing we're not. We're driving a Ford. Hey. Oh shoot! I lost my angle. They're trying to drive, man. Damn, son. So this brings me back to my days. You know, my mom would teach me to drive manual in her S550 in the church parking lot. Right now we're in the church parking lot in the S550. I forgot how to drive manual, let's just say that. So James is gonna teach me. I think what he was telling me is to rev it up a little and then start like slipping the clutch. Is that high enough?
Oh, Jesus fucking God. Let's try again. Come on. Oh, Jesus fuck. Yeah, that's pretty good. Slipped it a little. Oh, Jesus. You slipped it a little much, though.
Oh. Too much slip?
Too much slip on that one. Maybe, like, try it a little faster, I think.
A little faster, okay.
Yeah, just a little faster of the clutch release. You don't want to, like, slip it so much. It's bad for the clutch.
Oh, okay. I'm getting
Yeah. Yeah, that was pretty aggressive.
That's like race car, like, you're supposed to drive like that, right?
100%, like race car stuff. Yeah, that was rough. You want to release the clutch a little slower when shifting.
Okay, I think we're ready for the road. What do you think?
Yeah, I think you're ready too. Yeah, that was pretty good, dude.
Okay, I'm getting it now.
Yeah, you got it. Yeah, you got that down pat. No, yeah. Yeah, I smelled what was left of my rear tires.
All right, we got an M12 Stubby 4.0 half charge. We got an adapter to 1/2 inch for 21. These are torqued to 110 foot-pounds. Very curious to see if it'll take it off.
I told you I seen a video. I knew it would.
Shoo! You didn't even need to flex. You could just got an M12 Stubby. We got the wheel off, but what is going on?
I think I'm like an old tire.
No, it's literally last year.
So
And it's cracked. I mean, ignore the fact that it's worn out on the inner edge, but
Yeah, other than that, though, it's really not even.
I mean, I expected that because of the camber. It's such a shame, dude. I mean, I know I got new wheels, but it's still a shame because, like, I want to try to maximize profit on these. That doesn't make any sense. I don't understand. Well, let's get the other side off and let's see if it's cracked as well.
Cracked. Oh my god.
Holy crap.
That's secondary rubber underneath that.
Gosh, damn, dude. It is cracked there, too. Dude, that's terrible. It looks like it's in the same spot. Same kind of crack, too.
Yeah.
That's not good. Neither is that. Goodness gracious. Yeah, I mean, it's been probably 6 months since I put these brakes on. These rotors are worn out when I put them on, so they've squealed really bad. Now there's a ginormous lip here that wasn't there, and this lip's even bigger than it was. Like that's like almost over 1/8 of an inch lip on both sides. And hot spots, as you can see. The pads is the most surprising part. They're like actually worn down. which is weird because they were relatively new when I put them on. I mean, they weren't brand new, but they were relatively new. So we'll see how the new pads, how fast they get eaten up after a track day and stuff. But it's kind of looking like these brakes might be still a little small for how heavy this car is. And I might have to upgrade to 6 pistons in the future because that ate through that brake pad pretty fast. But you know, for now we got new pads and new rotors, so we'll see what happens. But these actually held up a lot better than I thought paint wise. There's only the one chip up there, but they are pretty badly stained now from these pads. Like, these pads have been terrible to me. They've destroyed my wheels completely, and they have destroyed the paint on my calipers, and they have destroyed this rotor, which I kind of think this rotor is just a cheap rotor anyway. Like, it seems like it got eaten away a little too easily, so I think the rotors just kind of suck. But I'm glad we're ditching them. We got power stop track day pads. We'll see if they're any better. New rotors are on. These ones, I'm no expert, but they are in terrible condition. That is over an 1/8 inch lip there, and there's huge lip going all along the outside as well, along with the scoring, hot spots, and everything. These were well shot, so it is a good thing we're going ahead and putting these on. Very curious to see how the new pads perform. Hopefully they last a little bit longer than the old ones. The old rotors were pretty worn out when I put them on, so I'm not surprised about that. But the pads, like I said, were in good shape, so definitely a little surprised about that. I'm over here working on this side. Pretty much everything's ready to go. I just got to put it back together and bolt it up. Boom, got that polished up. Kind of still looks bad. As you can see, a lot of this is actually just faded from the heat. These got hot enough out on Rodent Land and stuff, and it just faded the paint. So if I ever want them to look perfect, I'll have to powder coat them. But to be honest with you, these might be the last set of pads and rotors that go on the 4 pistons. I'm thinking I'm probably going to want 6 pistons because I think these are still a little bit too small for road course for how heavy this car is. So, but you know what? We're going to test them out. We're going to make them run. We'll see what happens. All right, look at that thing all polished up, getting it bedded in. It might get a little scored, but honestly, they're track pads, so I expect that. So yeah, I'm pretty stoked right now. Let's go drive it some more. I'm going to let James drive it now. Let off. You downshifted too early. I didn't tell you to downshift, did I? Go. Speed up. Let off. Downshift. Dang. Maybe it wasn't high enough. I don't know.
Oh, some pops. God. Nope. Damn, need a clutch. Dang. That's unfortunate.
It's like 2 days later now. I'm sick. Fantastic on my brake. But the brakes are on and they're braking. They're looking good. These are still looking decent. But I'm gonna go ahead and put the new front splitter on the car. We got the same one. We're gonna throw it right back on. It should be no problem at all. I've showed all this process not that long ago, so there's no point showing it all again. Just like that, we're back in action. Back to the way it was. Like nothing ever happened. All right, now it's even colder and I'm still sick. But we're gonna roll right into doing the spark plugs here. I already got the coil covers off. Very simple job. I've already done this a couple times before. I changed them when I got the car. That was almost 30,000 miles ago, or it is 30,000 miles ago. I have to check. But the car has started like not necessarily misfiring, but it's just kind of spitting and sputtering a little bit more than usual at idle. And when I pulled the spark plug out not too long ago, it kind of looked a little crusty. So I'm just gonna go ahead and say that they probably could benefit from a replacement. So I got some new NGK plug. I'm gonna throw those in there. Hopefully they get it to run a little bit smoother. Other than an idle, it runs great. It doesn't break up in the top end or anything like that. Just at idle kind of runs a little crusty. So we're gonna see if we can remedy that a little bit with this spark plug replacement. Oh, what the? Oh, you freaking idiot. Magnet. Oh. Yo, what is going on? Now I have to pull this piece out from in there. later now, and I'm finally gonna get around to putting the wheels on. Now, as you can see, the back is already on, fits good, didn't have to do anything. I ended up taking off my 3/8 inch wheel spacers that I had on there with the previous wheels. They will end up going back on, but right now, since these tires are so wide, they already stick past the fender a little bit, which is how the other ones were with the wheel spacers. So the fitment's perfect, but these are obviously racing slicks, and they're not something I'm gonna be keeping on the car for more than a couple days, because, you know, for obvious reasons, you can't really be driving those on the street. So I'm getting some Yokohama Apex 295s all the way around. So they'll actually be slightly stretched. So I'll need the wheel spacers back to have the fitment in the rear perfect. Up front, I didn't really want to do anything more than that. But after doing some research and findings of my own, I have found that these wheels are so wide, since they're 19 by 11 plus 52, they're so wide and they have a kind of a less offset, that they actually, the wheel comes in contact with the strut, especially this, because this sticks out a little bit further. I still might have to trim that even after adding the wheel spacers, because the tires are so fat, but we'll see. So to fix this issue, I went ahead and bought some 1-inch wheel spacers, which are going to work perfectly fine, except for one problem. Now we got both wheels side by side here. Let's take a look at one key difference. If we take a look at the back of the American Muscle wheels and a lot of similar other wheels, you can see that there's this void in between each stud bay. So since wheel spaces are offset a little bit, the stock studs, instead of going where they would go normally, they'd be positioned and they would go in this area. So the stock studs are obviously longer than 1 inch, so they'll stick in this area. It'll be no problem. But on the Apexes, they're not like most other wheels. And as you can see, that little void cavity doesn't exist, minus like 1/8 of an inch right there. So the studs will most definitely come in contact with that, even adding the wheel spacers. Now there's 2 ways to get around this. Number 1 is you go ahead and you buy elongated studs and you run a studless wheel spacer that just slides on the studs, longer studs in factory. Then you just use open-ended lug nuts, or you cut them to size, whatever, and they're usually stronger than factory and they're a lot better. Or option number 2, with what I went with, is a bolt-on wheel spacer. Now the reason that I went with this instead of getting elongated studs is simply because of price. Elongated studs are about 120 bucks for the set, you know, for each side, and then you're looking at about another 70 bucks for the appropriate wheel spacers to put on those studs. Whereas these were about 60-70 bucks. As is, all I gotta do is trim the studs. So I've marked with electrical tape exactly where I need to cut, and I went ahead and threaded the open-ended lug nuts on there, because when you cut these with an angle grinder, you're gonna mess up the threads on the end. But if you have these already threaded on, when you back them off, they're gonna straighten those threads back up on the very end. If you don't do that, you might not be able to thread your lug nuts on at all. So if you wanna cut your studs, you definitely wanna thread your lug nuts on first so you can back them off. So I'm gonna go ahead and get to cutting these. I'm not looking forward to it, because if I mess it up, or if I ever need to go to a different set of wheels, I'm most likely gonna have to replace the studs. But you know what? That's the price you gotta pay when you're trying to save a little bit of money and you're gonna go full race car. So let's go ahead and get to cutting. Just like that, we have all our studs cut. We grab our spacer. All the studs are now below the edge of the spacer. We got more threads that these lug nuts are going to bite onto than these lug nuts are deep, so that means we are plenty good. I'm basing all of this off of knowledge that I found on forums and talking to people on Instagram, and just use this basic eyeballing. So I actually don't know if the wheels are even going to clear the strut tower with a 1-inch wheel spacer, and even if they do, they're definitely going to be sticking past the fender, just because the tires are way too wide for those wheels. But we're going to see how bad it truly is, see if it rubs, see if it even works at all, or if I just made a colossal mistake. Let's hope they fit. All right, we got clearance. We got about 1/4 inch between that stud. I might trim that stud down a little bit to be on the safe side. And we probably got about 1/2 inch, maybe 3/8 of an inch between the edge of the tire and the strut. So I think this will work just fine. As you might be able to see, I'm kind of getting down to my secondary rubber there. So it's just about time to retire these tires anyway. It's gonna be good that I have wheels I can rotate now to make them last longer, since the back doesn't have camber and the front camber is just eating it, because like the rest of the tire is worn, but it's still usable. It's not raceable, but usable. This is just, that's just gonna blow out at, you know, a couple more miles, and it's gonna be extremely dangerous. All right, I got this side all taped up and where I need to cut. Now you might be asking yourself, Why the crap are you cutting your studs and adding wheel spacers when you're going to be going and racing on Road Atlanta, doing autocross, mountain runs, etc.? That seems like a terrible idea. And to which I would say, in most cases, you're probably right. That doesn't sound like a great idea, except for the fact there's just about no other way I can run these wheels in the front of this car. Like I said, I could do extended studs and spacers, or I could cut these and run bolt-on spacers. Those are really my only two options. You also might be thinking, if those are your only two options, why the crap are you running these wheels? Just get different size wheels. Number one is I wanted a square setup, and number two is I wanted a wide enough wheel in the front to appropriately accommodate the weight of the car. Because right now I'm running a 265 up front, and all this thing does is understeer and shove because there's not enough tire up front. I don't have a full-blown race tire on it, and I'm not going to do that because I still enjoy driving it on the street. But even if I did, it's not enough tire. I got 295 in the back, which is appropriate. That's fine, that's good. But what this also means is I can't rotate them. So like I just showed you, the front tires wear out, my back tires are still perfectly fine because it's straight axle, so there's no camber in the back, there's camber in the front, and then it'll just ride on that inner edge and wear the tire out, and you know, 3/4 of it'll still be good, but that inside quarter is going to be absolutely trash. So with a square setup, rotate it, make the tires last a lot longer. I can also get an appropriately width tire up front so it doesn't understeer as bad, and if it's square, it's also going to handle better in road course, especially in autocross as well. Having a square setup is very important. That's really about it. If I want wide wheels, I got to just do a little bit of jank stuff. I'm not causing any structural loss. I'm only cutting off 3 threads. The thread that's left, you can see, is over 1 inch of thread left, and obviously these little lug nuts are not nearly that thick, so I have plenty of thread to bite onto. It's just gonna be a little bit sketchy in theory to cut them and put on wheel spacers than just do extended studs. So let's go ahead and get these cut, and then we'll bolt it up, throw the car on the ground. I already looked at the other side. It's gonna stick maybe 1 inch past the fender, which is a little unfortunate, but once we get those skinny tires on, it still might stick a hair past the fender, but I almost kind of want that. It gives it a little aggressive look, and when the suspension compresses, it should still tuck in as long as it's not sticking out the fender too bad. So I think it'll end up being absolutely perfect, but time will tell. So let's get Go figure, I lost the rest of the footage to that. But as you can see, the car looks fantastic, drives great, clears lock to lock, no issues. In the near future, the car will get street tires, but for now, it sits on 325 Hoosiers. And you know what? There's something to be said about that. So I'll see y'all in the next video.